Today we're gonna take a look at 3 awesome riffs by Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones. First off, we have a song from the album Let It Bleed. Rock and roll at its finest, beautiful, great riff by Keith Richards. And I played it sort of difficult with almost 2 guitar parts in one, but the place where you want to start, level 1, is just learn to play the basic notes with open strings, like this. If you can do that, instead of using the open strings, you want to play the same notes a bit higher on the fretboard. And the reason is, if you can play it here, instead of using the open strings, you can use what I call the Hendrix technique, which is a phrase I use for attacking all the strings and muting the strings you don't want. So it sounds very rough, and it sounds like this. That just sounds so cool. Now on the record, there's this guitar playing the riff, and that's it. And there's also another guitar playing chords, and that guitar is just playing D power chords and A power chords. While the other guitar on top of that plays the riff like bam bam dee down down doo dee 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 dee. But if you can play those 2 guitar parts together, that sounds even more cool. Now how do you do that? Well, simple. You start with the D power chord. You sort of gel those 2 parts together. It can be done. Beautiful thing to play. Probably one of the most well-known riffs ever recorded in pop music. And it has that open G tuning, of course, capo 4th fret. And the open G tuning basically means you have the A string down to a G, and the top string is tuned down to a D. And the bottom string, we don't really care about that, so I just mute it, or you can even cut it off like Keith Richards does. And when you just play all the strings, you already got something, eh? Give it 2 strums. You already have the beginning of Jumpin Jack Flash. Make sure to mute in between though. And all you need to do is just play 3 very simple notes. Play that 3 times. Together with the 2 strums, you've got Jumpin Jack Flash. And it's as simple as that. Now, of course, because we use this open G tuning, you can just slide around your index finger, and you get all the chords you need. The fun begins when you add some of those embellishments. If you can do this, might as well see if you can also press down your middle and ring finger. You can do great little track from the album Tattoo You, I think it was. Very simple riff and great fun to play. And basically, it's only just 4 power chords. Anyone can do that. That would be the most simple, the sort of skeleton version of the riff. The next step would be to add a little riff, which is... You need to squeeze that in between the B power chord and the E power chord, like this. That's more like it. Starts to sound like the record, right? And finally, instead of doing this riff, you want to see if you're able to do that while holding the ring finger and the pinky finger on the 4th fret. You might say, well, why? Well, now you can sort of hit all the bottom strings and that creates a more full sound. That's exactly what we want. Finally, that all together should make